I'm an anarcho-Marxist. I belong to Class War, which is an organisation of revolutionary communists and anarchists who are fighting to overthrow the capitalist system and the rule of the aristocracy, the landed gentry, the rich and powerful, in support of working people and poor people.
I'm the fourth Baron Rowallan, Lord Rowallan, known as Johnny to his friends.
An upper house should exist to stop the extremities of politics.
I've been brought up, ever since I was a little boy, that one day it would be my right to sit in the House of Lords.
It should act as a brake to knee-jerk reactions to temporary outbreaks of passion or stupidity in the community. This House does that.
The House of Lords, undemocratic, unrepresentative, unjust, needs abolishing as a prelude to the abolition of the Commons, which is also unrepresentative, not useful, and doesn't serve the interests of the working class.
Aristocracy, as ill-fashioned, has stopped, and the working classes have ceased to exist as well.
Well, basically, people who say there isn't any class must live on a different planet.
Yes, I am an aristocrat. Yes, I've got LORD in front of my name. But no, I haven't got a silver spoon in my mouth, and no, I am not an alien from outer space. I'm totally convinced that during the course of the week that this person is staying with me, that I will persuade him that the lifelong views he's had are wrong.
Yeah, Trafalgar Square. Scene of the glorious class war poll tax riot. They only ever come to London to shout at people, by the way. You don't come here for any other reason. The Englishman said it's Westminster, the Scotsman he said nay. Tory said it's a bloody disgrace that ought to be blown away.
For this programme, ex-miner and class war anarchist Dave Douglas will spend a week with hereditary Tory peer Lord Johnny Rowallan.
Hello?
Hello, we meet at last.
You alright? Alright?
Nice to meet you.
Dave has joined Johnny for his last day in the House of Lords before recess. The Lords is to be reformed, and many peers will have to go. Johnny is a staunch supporter of the upper house and wants to be one of those who stays.
Anyway, we're sitting here on the terrace, which is a view you've probably seen hundreds of times from different places.
Yeah.
The bit you're looking at immediately behind me on the second floor is the Lord Chancellor's department with the red curtains there. And all this that's red and white is House of Lords. What are you?
I'm a Marxist, but I describe myself as an anarcho-Marxist. I'm in the camp of anarchism rather than in Marxism-Leninism.
A lot of the people I went around with when I was a hippie in the 60s in America would probably be Marxists now that they've grown up, but at the time we all were very much believers of sort of love and peace.
You're talking about a time where hippie lineage is still there. Except with the wanted as a headband around it.
That's absolutely true.
Just saying a caftan.
Dave and Johnny will spend a week on the Rowallan estate in Scotland. Johnny has had to sell the two family castles and now lives in an 8-bedroom farmhouse with stables. He runs a thriving show jumping business. Dave immediately makes himself feel at home and joins the Rowallan family for breakfast.
Ask her, she would better not have Marjorie.
No problem, coming up. Sugar as well?
Yes, please.
Only the one thing in the world I can't eat is beans. Beans has this devastating effect, and that's definitely a no-no starter for 10. I'm Jack Charles for the rest of the day, so I give those a miss. This is our formal sitting drawing room, which we don't actually use an awful lot. That is my great-grandmother that choked on the chicken bone, died in 1876, that Rowallan was built for. And that actually is the old castle of Rowallan on this picture here, right behind.
Johnny's tales of castles and privilege provoked Dave to explain how his experiences as a miner gave rise to revolutionary convictions.
And you know, you can't win, because when we try to go back to to a situation, say, we want to keep our jobs, we don't want unemployment, we don't want to be faced with the situation we've got with pit communities that are abandoned now, and heroin addiction is now rife in pit communities, the same as it is in inner cities.
Everywhere.
But that's because they took away what we had. I mean, there comes a point when people have to resist and have to fight back, and it becomes not only right to do that, but wrong not to do that.
I go along entirely with what you say, up to the point when you say that you have to resort to violence to do it, and that is where my understanding of the word anarchy and your understanding of the word anarchy split.
Will you agree that poverty is violence? Social deprivation is violence. Early death is violence.
No, I wouldn't agree with that. What I would say is that all those three things you've just mentioned are a source of great sadness to me that they should exist at all. But it's not violence.
And say it's sadly only half built. So
Johnny takes Dave to see Rowallan Castle.
Bloody hell.
the bit in the middle.
Until he reluctantly sold it to private developers, Johnny had lived there all his life.
This is an obnoxiously large place for one family to live in. You must agree.
No, I don't agree with it. It is.
No one family needs to live in a place like this, for God's sake. This is bigger than some hospitals. This is now going to go to private concern, for private paying guests who are going to be top of the range gadgets.
It's not necessarily just exclusive for, what do you call them, ganges?
Houses such as these should be given back to the people.
The inside of the it looks so bad, making like pictures of the furniture in it. We're going up to the roof, and the view from the top, I assure you, will be that far.
Right.
So, wow.
I must admit, I mean, I just love this place so much, and I'm delighted if we can keep it intact, because there's something awfully special about it in my heart. I find it very hard actually to put into words the feelings I have for this house. I really do.
I felt sorry for him. He obviously loved that building, the old family home today, and it caused him real grief, the fact that he had to give it up. I mean, that's the way things go. Change is can be very, very painful. I'm a victim of change from the other side, like hundreds of thousands of other miners who were taken out of their jobs, thrown out of their communities, destroyed with culture, destroyed with way of life. I know how bitterly sad that can be. The difference is that I don't think ours was necessary, whereas I think his is. But that doesn't mean it's any less painful.
The following day, Johnny gives Dave a taste of the sporting pursuits of a country lord.
Make the most of it, it won't last long. You've got that much longer.
Talk soon turns to the coming revolution.
You can't genuinely believe that in 2000 the masses are going to rise against whatever.
Against the ruling class.
I'm very interested to know,
As far as we're concerned, potentially 75% of the population, because that's the working class.
Oh, go away and chase yourself up a gum tree. 75% of the population are working class. Dave, you're talking to a hole in your arse.
It's well, you're part of this government in Australia. They produced that on the question of distribution of income and wealth and social groups. And if you take all the sociological verbiage away, you're talking about 75% of the population. Look at it. Put it the other way around. As I said to you last night. Somewhere in the region of 80% of all wealth is in the hands of 10% of the population. Right? That only leaves 10% to have with the other 90% of the population. And that's not even equally divided.
I've got to get back in, you're right.
Now you see why.
That's why we showed him.
That's why we showed
We
them.
showed him.
Right. I mean, I don't know how much of a flip that was, but both those horses could have broke both of their legs.
I agree. Unfortunately, it's risks. We take risks.
It's the same thing that making horses do as they've done like in the old days of the cavalry when they rode them into cannons and stuff like that.
Dave's obvious horror at the horses falling leaves Johnny and Claire somewhat perplexed.
I'm just not getting those vibes that this revolution, that he's expecting this revolution to take place.
Is this revolution a violent revolution?
Well, we're still trying to find out what
Totally anti-violence.
We know he's anti-violence, so he says, but there is no other way to get a successful revolution without resorting, unfortunately, to violence. So there's no such thing in a democracy as being able to have a takeover in a peaceful fashion.
Yeah, but Dave still hasn't told us where the leaders or where these people are all going to come from. 75%.
There are no leaders in an anarchy. The Dave that I see and has been living with me is not a violent person in any way that I can see. I mean, maybe there's a completely different Dave again, who when he's fueled up with his friends gets into sort of, I just actually don't see it, because the Dave that is coming across to me and the Dave that I'm talking to says he's actually anti-physical violence.
Well, he hasn't actually seen a copy of the Class 1 paper yet, so I'm just about to give him one. I'm just going to have a quick look through it again to remind myself what we've said in this edition.
Right, I've read this class war. Frankly, it horrifies me. I can't abide bad language in print anyway. But some of this is just beyond any bounds of anybody's decency, I would have thought. Certainly, talking about burning people, and to say that it's good that people have died, to make an attack on the Queen Mother, who is probably one of the most revered people in Britain today.
No, we've got a list of the Idle-Rich top 10. Pippa Kidson Trigg, I kid you not, this is her name. London Socialist Organiser of the Countryside Alliance. Camilla Parker Bowles, same name, same woman. Tiggy Egg Bork, the Prince's nanny and surrogate mother, and Lieutenant Colonel Sir Ascot Woolsworth St Auburn. He's a Cornish landowner with the silliest name of all the ruling class in Britain. Now I've got a delightful statement here from the class war in South Yorkshire, I know because I wrote it. And it goes on, so, you might not find it all that bad after all.
It's really, I think the best word I could use for it is pathetic.
Yeah, disgusting.
Later that evening, Dave joins Johnny and Claire's closest friends for dinner.
Water at the end, winter time.
When I come down to see your flowers now, when I come down here now, I'll just show you some things I planted in. Couldn't tell it to be a red one and a yellow one. He couldn't. He's see it. I know they're growing and he doesn't look it.
The conviviality of the evening is soon soured by the appearance of the Class War magazine. It is Claire who takes Dave to task.
How can you support class war when there's a photograph of a policeman on fire there, and yet you were so horrified when you saw a horse fall and hurt its knees and then get up and jump the fence? I mean, how can you support that? You see a man on fire, and that's, the man's obviously going to die, and the horse obviously got up, it jumped the fence and went on. The horse would actually be fine. Okay, it probably had a bit of bruising later, but you absolutely felt sick with that. So explain it to me, please. I really want to know.
For a time when I was about 14 to 15 or whatever, I went along with the idea that the most logical conclusion of my ideas was pacifism. And that it didn't matter what violence was used against me, I would never use any violence back.
So you disapprove of violence?
This is how I started off thinking. And that all violence was the same. And I concluded it wasn't. And that there was a difference between the violence of those who were oppressed and the violence of those who were under the oppressor. The violence of somebody that was poor and weak against the strong had to be legitimate.
But would you set the man on fire?
During the miners' strike, 20,000 armed cops, and 20,000, I've thrown Molotov cocktails during that strike.
Did you?
Yeah.
But Dave, that's hypocrisy. How can anybody else say, could a horse fall on a fence and then throw a Molotov cocktail?
Because I hate violence.
Well, you've just thrown a Molotov cocktail.
Because it's necessary to fight back. It's not because you enjoy that.
But not by setting a policeman on fire.
You've got to remember, the first people that died during the strike were old people, who were unarmed people standing on picket lines. Okay, so I suppose this was the benefit, insofar as I was thrown into a lot of opposition. They weren't too chuffed about class war, the paper. I wasn't really expecting that they would be. I dreaded giving them it because it doesn't in one sense explain what we stand for. It actually demonstrates how we oppose it. It demonstrates our reactions to the system that oppresses us and how we oppose it. It is a kind of a war manifesto rather than a peace program.
The next day, the tables are turned. Johnny leaves his country estate for the streets of Glasgow, where he has agreed to meet some of Dave's class war comrades.
You see the slogan? It's not just me. I honestly did not paint that last night.
No, you were with me last night, I'll give you that.
Talking about revolution, it's a party. Just me. This is his lordship.
Johnny.
Lord Rowallan. Lord Rowallan. I got pissed the other night, I think I called him Lord Rwanda. Mixed up. I was saying, we were saying about whether or not the working class exists. Yes. And I started off earlier in the week saying to you that not only did the class system still exist, but the gap between the rich and the poor is getting wider. And although the cake's a wee bit bigger, our share of it is less than it was 100 years ago. And you'll say, no, like only a few people at the bottom
The split may be getting wider, but is the number at the bottom end not actually smaller than it will be?
The facts and the figures can be researched, but I think everything that Dave's quite correct, and the actual gap has got larger. As I was going to say earlier, go to any city in Britain, but we happen to be in Glasgow, just the homelessness is huge, it is massive. Drug addiction is huge, it is massive. Young people selling their bodies in the street is huge and it's massive. I would suggest that there's not too many of these people, in fact I would suggest there wasn't any of these people who came from a rich background. They did not suddenly become that way through choice.
In order to be able to take the heroin, and if they didn't spend all that money on heroin and drink and fags, they would be a lot better off.
You have to look at the cause.
The majority of people that you see lying in cardboard boxes are there because they want to be, not because they're forced to be. There is a war
They want to be in cardboard boxes.
a lot of them do because they don't want to be part of the system. They want to get out of the system.
You say that you're an intelligent enough bloke. Well, I don't think you're stupid. I do not think you're stupid. I think you're intelligent. I think you're pretty well educated.
Thank you very much.
I do not believe that you believe that people choose to live in cardboard boxes.
John, I find you incredibly naive. To say that you're a member of the House of Lords, right, and you're there in government ruling over us, you know fuck all about politics, by the way. I'm amazed how little you know about politics. You believe you've got a divine right to help to govern us. You told me you believed it was your destiny to go down there and be part of that.
Yes.
We ordinary folk cannot accept that anybody has given you the right to rule us. I mean, perhaps you could share this little insight that God has given you.
All right, well, I do believe I've got a divine right, but I also believe very fervently that it was not my choice to have that divine right.
God's, was it?
I don't know whether it was God or the finger of fate or whatever it was, but someone came down and I popped out as the firstborn son of my mother by my father.
As I said to you, this class war is nothing to do with personalities. And as it turns out, John, you're a nice bloke. I say that unconditionally. You're a nice bloke, John. But had you been a nasty bastard, had you been a Colonel Blimp in your face, get off my land, you red bastards, one of those people, it would have been made for better television because it would have had more arguments. But it's not about that. It's about the fact that you have got the divine right to rule over me. You were born to rule over me. You've told me it was your destiny. Well, it's my destiny as a working class person to say to you, John, you're not on. You've got no right to rule me or anybody else.
Back to the estate, where the Lord and the worker toil, side by side.
Strike up your tunes, sons and daughters of labour, waken all humanity, for victory is near. So forward, you workers, freedom awaits you, on all the world, on the land, on the sea. On with the fight for the cause of humanity, march, march the toilers, all the world will be free. As communists, we're trying to change society. We want people to live in a better way. And I mean, comes the glorious day, he doesn't have to go against the wall. There's no wrong as far as I'm concerned with him operating this farm as probably a cooperative along with the grooms and the farmhands here, and them all pitching in, sharing the returns and sharing the work.
If, hypothetically, there was a revolution, and Dave was leading the workers against myself, I think he would tell his mates, leave him alone, he's not as bad as the rest. So yes, we would be on opposite sides. I would like to think, though, that if I saw Dave being kicked to death by some policeman or trampled on by a police force, I would go in and pull him out the fray, and I would like to think he would return the compliment. There's a wee gremlin in there trying to see if this man's made of a man or he's just a wee moose.
It's a maximum, but some of them have grown roots.
Well, they're able to come out a little bit easier when it's very wet.
Today, we're going to play pigeon shooting. I used to be a good shot, but the eyesight's gone a little bit, so I hope I don't do too badly against his lordship, or it's going to look like the revolution's going to flounder the first time we take up arms.
It's Dave's last day. It is also Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth the Queen Mother's birthday.
Which do you think would go in a referendum?
No question the royal family would want to be kept on. There are some members of the royal family who are more popular than others. I'm sure in your movement there are some people more popular than others. You cannot possibly say that Princess Anne, Princess Royal, is not a popular person.
She's not a popular person. She might be in the horses here, but she's not among anybody else.
She most certainly is. She's done an enormous amount of charity work.
Well,
Princess Diana in her day did an enormous amount of work for charity, was extremely popular.
Well, she wasn't popular among some sections of the ruling class, including the monarchy, by the way.
I don't know.
The majority of people in Britain believe that Diana was murdered by the monarchy. The majority of people in Britain believe that.
I think they might believe that that she was murdered by other forces, but certainly was not the monarchy.
The majority of people believe that the monarchy itself put their armpits in the murder of Diana. It's a matter of time before the monarchy is abolished.
Yeah, Dave, I'm afraid again you say you're living in the past.
In your lifetime, not only will you go, the Lords go, but the monarchy will go too.
I think you've been proved wrong, and I sincerely hope you are proved to be wrong, and I think one thing is for absolute certainty. One is thing for absolute certainty. Your peasant revolt will never take place. Your lifetime, your children's, grandchildren's, great-grandchildren's, there will never be a peasant revolt, because there are only 3 or 4 of you that feel the way you are.
Remember, adults come forward at the same time, go over the blue and yellow.
Dave and Johnny spend their last evening together at a Rowallan show jumping event.
7 pence.
I do like him. I know perfectly well I shouldn't like him because he stands for an awful lot of things that I don't approve of in any way. In fact, there are things that really quite concern me that anybody in this day and age, we shouldn't hold views like that when he says, yes, he will set a peaceful on fire. That sort of business. That is what annoys me, that I actually like him. Those views, that's what annoys me, that I actually like him.
Next one in, please. Next person, please.
It's more difficult seeing the ruling class, the aristocracy, as flesh and blood living human beings, instead of just some iniquitous class. I only hope that people don't draw the wrong impression from that. My hatred of the ruling class is very deep, but I have no personal animosity against this guy, or against the Queen for that matter.
Dave forward. Dave has been living with me for the last week in Clare, and he doesn't exactly approve of me as an aristocrat, but we've been trying all week to persuade him that I'm actually not too bad a chap. I think I might succeed in that bit, but anyway, here he goes then. Dave gives out the awards then, and a very fine win indeed to Beth. Second award to Lucy. Third award goes to Victoria with Chrissy. It's my niece, in fact. So, thank you very much, Dave, for giving out those awards, and thank you for your company for the week.
I miss the dogs. This one's my pal. This one's organising the revolution on the side. This is Comrade Kropotkin here. So alright, you're on our side, comrade? You might not be. Alright. Alright, Dougie. Rise, throw off your chains. Bit and spur will rust forever. Cruel bits no more will crack. Remember the words of Beasts of England from Animal Farm? Beasts of England, beasts of Ireland, beasts of every land and chime, hearken to the golden tidings of the glorious summertime. The winter ring shall vanish from our noses, and the harness from our back. Whip and spur shall rust forever, cruel whips no more will crack. For the day we all must labour, though we die before it break. Cows and horses, geese and turkeys, all must toil for freedom's sake. You hear that, dog?